What's up, YouTube? This is your boy, Dabs Cards. Bro, today on my channel, we're going to be going over my despia deck. What? Insane! But before we get into that, I'm going to be showcasing a 1-card combo and a 2-card combo. And if y'all haven't checked out the Scythe Lock combo or the Window combo, be sure to check it out in the description down below. Alright, let's dab into this video. Alright, first combo I'm going to showcase is a 1-card combo. It's just going to be Branded Fusion. So you're going to go ahead and activate your Branded Fusion. It's going to be 1-card Dragoon, by the way. So you're going to send the Light Hex Sealed, and you're going to send Fallen to Albaz. So 1 light and Fallen to Albaz. That can get us the Albion. Albion on summon, we can go ahead and banish 1 dragon, and then he can count as the Dark Magician, giving us our 1-card Dragoon. Insane! What? He's a monster negate, untargetable, undestroyable. So here's the 2-card combo with the Luber and Branded Fusion. This could also be branded in red. So if you have branded in red, you're going to search the Branded Fusion. So what you're going to do is you're going to normal summon a Luber. A Luber on summon, we're going to search the branded in red in this case. If you already have the branded red, search the Branded Fusion. We're going to activate the Branded Fusion to a fusion summon from our extra deck by sending the Fallen to Albaz and Tragedy from our main deck. That's going to special summon Lubellion. Now, Lubellion on summon, we're going to have to discard for cost. So we'll discard a random card from our hand. He will be chain 1. Tragedy will be chain 2. Chain 2, we're going to add a despia monster from our deck to our hand. But we're going to be chain 3 with branded in red. So branded in red will be chain 3. We're going to go ahead and add the Fallen to Albaz from our graveyard to our hand, and then we're going to fusion summon using these 2 into our Mirror Jade. So now that chain 3 is resolved, chain 2 will kick in, being the Despian Tragedy, allowing us to grab our ad libitum from our deck to our hand. And Lubellion was still chain 1, so we're going to go ahead and shuffle these guys back into the decks to go ahead and fusion summon into Albion. Now, Albion on summon will allow us to go ahead and fusion summon using material from our hand and field by banishing it. So we're going to go ahead and chain with Mirror Jade. Mirror Jade will be chain 2. We're going to go ahead and send our 2nd copy of Albion to the grave for cost to banish the Luber. And then chain 1 will be Albion. So we're going to go ahead and use the Mirror Jade and the ad libitum to fusion summon into Predaplant Destropelia. Butchered that name, but it doesn't matter. And then on summon, ad libitum will kick in, allowing us to special summon our Mirror Jade. Now, this is pretty wild because he can banish a card on your opponent's, he can banish a monster on your opponent's side of the field. He could negate, and it's a quick effect. And then at the end phase, Albion will kick in. And then what I would do is I would go for the branded in red. And that way, after you use up your banishment, you can fusion these guys off into Guardian Chimera. And then you could pop 2, draw 1, which isn't bad. It's pretty strong, especially after they already dealt with the banish and a quick effect monster negate. But what you could also do is, instead of searching the branded in red, you can go ahead and search the branded banishment. And since you have a Tragedy Despia monster in grave, Despian Tragedy, you can special summon him. And if you know your opponents are playing light and darks, you can go ahead and fusion summon using your Tragedy and your opponent's monster into a Masquerade. And that way they just start taking some burn damage. So it's really what you want to do. Alright, let's get into this main deck. We got a Luber. A Luber on summon can search a branded spell and trap. We run him at 3 because he's pretty much one of the main starters. He searches the Branded Fusion. You know what I'm saying? So this is kind of like the engine of the deck. So it's like we have 6 Branded Fusions. It's insane. To help us search the Luber, we got Despian Tragedy. If Despian Tragedy is banished or discarded, you can add a Despia monster from your deck to your hand. So he helps us search the Luber. So it's like we're running 9 Branded Fusions. Branded Opening You could discard the Tragedy or any other monster or card in general, and then special summon a despia monster. He counts as a despia monster, so it's like we're running multiple copies of Alubri. This deck is really consistent. It's insane. We run one Dramaturge and one Ad Libitum. Now, Dramaturge, you could use him as fusion material and he gets to come back. If your opponent special summons a monster from the extra deck, you can target a monster on the field and negate its effects until the end of this turn. Card's insane. And then Ad Libitum, if you use her or him, whatever the fuck it is, as fusion material, you could target one of your Despia monsters or one of your fusion monsters that are in the banish zone and graveyard, and then special summon it. Comes in clutch, happens come up a lot. The branded spells, other than fusion that we look up, is branded in red. So we'll search this if we already had the branded infusion. You could also search the branded opening. I don't know why you would want to do that, but you could. We run one branded theater, helps us fusion summon, makes our board stickier if one of our non-fusion fairy monsters is destroyed. Counts as a fairy, insane. Branded banishment, card's insane. Allows us to basically super poly, and he's a searchable super poly. And then branded expulsion. This is for the new Scythe Lock combo. I like it. It's decent. Helps us Scythe Lock our opponents. All right. Now let's move on to Fallen to Albaz. We run 3 Fallen to Albaz. Card's insane. On summon, he's basically like a super poly. All you gotta do is discard a card. The whole branded fusion revolves around him, so you got to have at least 2 in the deck, not 1. You know what I'm saying? 1 won't work. Fallen to Albaz Trap. So if you control a fusion monster that lists Fallen to Albaz as material, you can negate any monster effect with this. This is pretty insane. To keep things consistent, we run the Frightfurt Patchwork and Edge of Chain package. So we run 3 Edge of Chains, 2 polys, and 2 Frightfurt patches. Now, Patchwork can search the Edge of Chain can search the Patchwork. They're once per turn, so it's pretty good to keep the things consistent. And for more consistency, we run 1 Foolish Burial and 1 Gold Esophagus. Because if he's Tragedy sent to the graveyard, or if he's banished, then you get to add a Luber to hand. So it's like running more copies of Luber. This deck is so consistent, it's insane. And then for more consistency, we run 2 Allure of Darknesses, allows you to draw 2. And if you draw into Tragedy, you can banish your Tragedy, and then once again get a Luber to hand. Insane. The 3 hand traps I run is Snow Rabbit, you know what I'm saying? Ghost Ogre and Snow Rabbit, because he's a light. Now, realistically, you can run, you know, like Gamma if you think Gamma's good, or Skullmeister, or Effect Veiler, or Phantasma, or DD Crow, or if you think Lance is good, you can even run a Lance. But you want to run like light and darks. That way it has more synergy with the deck, because most of your fusion monsters require light and dark for the Despia monsters. We run 1 Artifact Scythe for the Scythe combo. We run 1 Shaddoll Beast. We did run Quad Shaddoll, the light attribute one. But when this card is discarded or sent to the graveyard, you could actually just draw a card. So it helps us. It's, you know, that way it's not that big of a brick. And then 1 Hex Sealed Fusion to help us get into Dragoon. So these cards are kind of like bricks, but they're all light and dark, so you could still use them for your Despia monsters, so it's insane. And that's it for the main deck. Let's get into this extra deck. First, the Albaz targets. 2 Albions, pretty standard. 2 Mirror Jades, pretty standard. And I only run 1 Lubalian. Most players run 2, but I had to make room for the spice, you know what I'm saying? On summon, he can fusion summon by banishing cards from your field, graveyard, or hand. He can banish a monster on your opponent's side of the field, or just any monster in general. Lubalian can fusion summon on contact. However, he requires a discard And he shuffles material from the banish zone, graveyard, or field back into the deck. Pretty insane. Other Albaz targets I run is the Iron Dash Dragon. He comes in clutch sometimes, being able to move zones and then destroying stuff in that column. Also, at the end phase, if he's in the graveyard, he could special summon Fallen Albaz. Pretty cool. Same effect on grave at the end phase. If this guy's there, he can special summon Fallen Albaz straight from the deck. Pretty much like a Super Poly on your opponent's end phase. Also, this dude gains attack equal to the combined original levels of monsters used for its fusion material. So he gets pretty big, pretty fast. Helps OTK. That's it for the Albaz targets. And let's move on to the Despia targets. We got Masquerade. So we got 2 Masquerades. Help burn our opponent for 600 every time they activate an effect. Sometimes if you're close to time, that comes in clutch. 1 Despian Kiskian. This guy requires a light and dark, but his quick effect's pretty cool. You can target 1 fusion, synchro, XZ, or link monster in your opponent's graveyard, banish it, or special summon it. So if you special summon a Baron on your side, it's pretty badass. QWERTYs. This dude has the quick effect. You can change the attack of all monsters currently on the field to 0, except for level 8 or higher fusion monsters, which is pretty much everything in my extra deck. So it comes in clutch when you're trying to OTK. That's it for the Despia targets. First tech card is Guardian Chimera. We usually summon him off of the branded in red. That way we can pop 2, draw 1, or draw 2, pop 1, you know, whatever you need to do at the time. Predapillant Dragoon. This guy, we use him in combo to get Albion and Grave usually, or, you know, just a super poly target off of Fallen Albaz. Pretty cool, comes in clutch sometimes. Also, he has a counter effect where he puts a counter on your opponents and they change levels. Could really mess them up if they really require it. Windows, my first spicy card. I like to do window locks. And Dragoon! You know, untargetable, undestroyable, gets pretty beefy, pretty fast. And that's it for the extra deck. Thanks for watching, YouTube. If you guys liked the video, go ahead and leave a like. If you guys got any comments at all, leave them in the comment section down below. If you guys haven't yet subscribed, make sure to subscribe and ding the notification bell. That way you guys don't miss out on any future content. Alright, that's all I got for you. Shout out.
Do a dangerous thing with style. That's what I call art.